We're diving on deep to a great conversation with the Port of Call here. I've got Dick Taylor and Wendy Smith in studio. Morning, gang.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Great.
We are ever closer and closer to budget season. I know you guys have been talking about it. How have things been progressing, and where are we at?
Good. So just to start us off, we'll be laying our preliminary budget out to the commission next Tuesday. I think it's, the 19th?
Yep.
And at that time, it's just really up for grabs what we do. We'll show the commission. Typically, by the time we formalize it, our formal meeting our hearing will be on October 3rd. But typically by that point, we've made all the, little changes. But we don't change a whole lot. We aren't a huge, but we're a bottom line budget, so we don't have a bunch of funds like, counties and cities to deal with. But we do try to make it as accurate as we can be. And
Oh, yeah.
we've got quite a few large projects coming down the pike. We've got at the airport, we've got our design and engineering for the actual airport overlay. And so that, the overlay will happen most likely in 2019. But the engineering and construction will happen, or engineering and design will happen next year. And that project overall is going to be, in millions, 3.5 millions, maybe, maybe more, maybe less. And so that's huge for us.
Yeah,
but
that's federally funded.
It is. So we, have just a 5% of that because the state funds and the other 5. So, and federal is 90. And then Marina, of course, we continue to talk about that dock, and permitting and more design will probably happen in this next year because it takes that long to get permits. It takes 1 to 2 years, so that'll start processing. And then probably actual construction will happen in 19 as well. And just, of course, we always budget out 5 years for our capital projects. So, we're looking at commercial dock, commercial aquaculture, transient, whatever that'll look like. So that's on the books, but, depends on grant funding, a lot of different things. So yeah, there's just, there's quite a few projects in the works, as well as we're in need of some office space and have a current tenant that really needs some office type space. So we're trying to figure out how that looks. And so I've put on the budget to look at hopefully funded in some fashion, but like a 5,000, just an admin type building. And so, yeah, there's just a lot going on, a lot of excitement. But I think.
Yeah, it's the mundane stuff that you have to do.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure it's right.
Yeah.
And you follow the timelines that are set out by law. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's just a matter of crossing the T's and dotting the I's and that sort of thing that we do. And it's a completely public process, of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll have to have our hearing and all that sort of thing. So,
yeah, which they even mandate, how much you have to advertise and how many days before and how many days within. And so we do all that, we watch for all that. So yeah, October 3rd will be the actual hearing where, we'll take testimony, but people can comment anytime, after that we lay it out to the board, it'll be public. We'll have copies available to whoever wants to check it out. So
very good.
Yeah. So just, yeah.
Today's the 13th, so in less than a month, the Port of Shelton area will be inundated by thousands, tens of thousands of people as we get ready for Oysterfest. You were just talking to Skookum Rotary. How they feeling? How they looking?
Good.
How's it looking up there?
Yeah. Actually, the grounds look great. It's been so dry that I think the only issue is probably it's not real green, but that's okay. It will be perfect. The guys are already gearing up for having to work. I mentioned we needed something done, and Al says, "Hey, we're full on Oysterfest this time." So, I was invited. Commissioner Christy Buck and I were invited to speak at the Rotary group this morning for Skookum Rotary, and we just talked about port happenings and goings-ons, but the group as a whole seems real mellow, and they seem like they got everything under control, and Oysterfest is just a blip in the calendar, and it's coming, and they know what they're doing, and they're just
they've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
It was sad to note this year that the founder of or the inspiration behind Oysterfest died, Dick Oltman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was quite a guy. I hated to see him go.
Yeah.
And he's got left quite a legacy
Oh,
to my mind.
man.
It's such an event, and every year it gets bigger and better. And yeah, those traditions, they live on. And well, I know everybody is going to be heading up to the port.
Yep.
And
And hopefully this year it won't be muddy.
Yeah.
it has been one nice thing about the decommissioned runway is that
Yeah, you can,
like
the
the
show itself is not muddy.
yeah, like the old fairgrounds. I mean, I remember years where it was dumping down rain, and oh, by the way, we had a lot of water standing.
Yes.
You'd be up to your ankles in mud.
You really
and
would.
Water, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better in that light.
For sure.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're all getting excited for Oysterfest. I know everybody does. So that's cool stuff. And we'll get you back on as the weeks progress towards that to see if there's any more movement there. And then as the budget process continues on as well. I know, Dick, you got to get to a drop off for the old kids here. And we will surface on out. And